my video I was trying to do, but hopefully this came out okay. I guess we'll see who's on here and what's going on in a few minutes. So I got this figure called Rom the Space Knight, and I know it's not my normal stuff I usually get, but I decided to get him because when I was a kid, actually I was a young teen. I guess I wasn't that young. I guess I was like in 6th grade or something. I saw this kid's really cool toy called Rom the Space Knight, and he had a backpack you could stick on, and you had these buttons you'd push on the back of his neck, and depending on how many times you pushed it, depending on if it shot his laser gun or his jetpack or did something else. I think it had like 6 functions to it, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I remember always kind of wanting that toy just for all the cool functionality. Now, I don't know anything at all about the actual storyline, so I'm kind of at a loss. But I do remember the toy was a lot of fun to play with, and we'd play with it with our oh, he also had these Battlestar Galactica 12-inch figures. And so the Battlestar Galactica and the Rom the Space Knight and Stretch Monster, and it was just a lot of fun playing with all of them. So let's take a look at this, if I can read this crazy font. It said, on Rom 1, the Space Knight, Rom tracks the vile, dire race across the cosmos, arriving on Earth to continue his pledge to defeat them. Okay, interesting. So I guess he's an alien, and there you go. So let's go ahead and open this toy up and see what it's all about, and let's see who has joined us. Looks like we have Tweety, Tweety and Mike. Tweety, thanks for joining us. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And again, like I said, I don't know a lot about the character himself, but I do know that it was an awesome toy a long time ago. And so let's get him opened. It's funny is I had Star Wars action figures, and I did have one 12-inch Darth Vader, but I never played with him with the Star Wars figures. I mean, I could have used him as a giant robot attacking the Star Wars figures. I don't know why I didn't. That would have been a really cool storyline, but I did not. It's like he has a small little comic accessory. That's kind of funny. Hey, Charles. Thanks for joining us. And let's go ahead and just get this open. They got the plastic in between the layers of cardboard, which you think the cardboard would come apart to make it easy somehow to pull this apart, but it doesn't. Oh, wait. No, it does not. You just gotta rip it and shred it and pull it apart. So we'll just cut into it. We will just cut into it. Urgh. Jam on it. There we go. Cut. That should be enough. There we go. Let's check out this cool comic accessory. How weird, it's a little plastic thing. See, it's kind of rubbery plastic with a sticker or something on it. And it says Marvel Legends series. Interesting. All right. So, I don't know why Rom would be carrying his own comic around, but what the heck. It's funny. Tonight, I was trying to make a video, and so first I was going to do the light up Thundercats, and I had it all ready to go, but it just didn't work out right. Just didn't get it together. And then I thought, okay, I will do a video on the Frosta and open her up, and I was all excited about that. But I couldn't find my Masterverse Frosta. So I just ordered a new Masterverse Frosta. She should be here Monday. So I'll be waiting to do that video. So I saw him sitting on the floor, and it was time to open up Rom the Space Knight. So let's go ahead and bust him out of here. Now, I remember looking at this toy, as I was telling you before. It was like a 12-inch toy or something. Maybe it was 9 or 8 inches. I don't remember, but it was bigger than this, and it had a lot of boxy features to it. So it didn't have like all this muscle tone and things like that. It was actually very boxy. Let's go and talk about the articulation. First, we have ankle articulation. We have double jointed knees, And then we have a thigh cut, which is smart. The thigh cut's in the right place where it's right at the top of the boot. Excellent job. Let's see who made this. It says more Hasbro. Excellent job, Hasbro. I hate it when the thigh cut is in the middle of the thigh and it messes the muscle up. But having it like a giant boot cut, that's the perfect way to do it. Then we have our hip motion. And then we have our ab crunch, which again is a nice hidden one where it's hidden inside the sculpt of the figure. And then we have an upper torso movement. Anyway, so then we have our shoulder movement here. We have a bicep cut. Then we have a double jointed elbow. And then we have wrist up and down. And on this side, we have wrist back and forth. His head moves. And that's about it. He's also got a Rock'em Sock'em jetpack. Anyway, there's his jetpack in the back. It's non-detachable, so you are just having it under the whole time. Now, the toy I saw when I was a kid actually did detach. And that was pretty cool. So, let's go ahead and pop out his weapons. The weapons! It's so weird looking at these because it brings back some memories like, oh yeah, it looks kind of familiar, but yet it's a little bit different than the toy that I had. Or no, I didn't actually have it. My friend had. He actually left it at my house, and I had it for like 6 months because he was out of town that whole time. And I was just having a blast flying Rom the Space Knight around and doing all the buttons on his back. And then he came back, and I was like, oh, he wants his toy back. So I reluctantly gave it back. It wasn't mine anyway. And I'm sure he enjoyed it too. All right, so he has 2 guns here. Let me get an extra light on here. So they don't hook together or nothing, but you can see the 2 different guns. And they just go into his hand. It's weird. His hand is really rubbery. I didn't expect it to be so rubbery with that kind of a silver look to it. I wonder, I don't think this is paint. I think it's some kind of silver plastic. And I know in the past when they've done plastic like this, it ends up having some metallics in it. So it doesn't last very long because it breaks the plastic down. So I'm not sure what this plastic is or how it works. But I don't see... Oh, wait, you know what? I take that back. I take that back. Look right here. There's some paint scuff right there. So I guess it is painted. You can see that scuff right there. Right on the ankle. This side you can't see it as much. But you can kind of see the paint difference of it's painted right there and not painted right there. Let's take a look at the knee joint and see if we can see the same kind of thing. Yep, the knee joint has the same kind of thing. Where it's more of a shiny gray plastic than silver. Let's check out the elbow. Yep, elbow joint has the same kind of that shiny gray instead of actual silver. So this is a paint on there. I wonder, it doesn't feel like paint. It's kind of strange. It just looks so smooth. But you can see here again, there's some paint scrape off. So you know it is. Which means if you throw this in your toy box in a short period of time, you're going to have weird scuffs all over it. No! It's worse than the silver surfer toy we had as a kid. All right. So there we go. I know that chrome silver surfer, it was so cool. My kids had one, and the chrome just started wearing off pretty quick. And you can hold his comic. Here's the story about me. All right. Let's take a look at those eyes. Weird. Now, yes, it would have been funny if we would have put little LEDs in here. That would have been totally rocked. But obviously, then the figure would have cost a lot more, and probably would have been a whole lot bigger figure. All right, so this is a short, sweet video because I didn't make the videos I wanted to, which, like I said before, was the new Light Up Thundercats, which I I'm going to wait to open or my Frosta. So this is the end of Rom the Space Knight. I guess I could show him comparison for size so you guys can see how tall he is. All right, let's go ahead and grab a Classics figure. And all I have is a bunch of females sitting out right now. So here's a Masterverse. So for Masterverse, the original ones, not the newer ones, he is a little taller. But for Classics, a little shorter. I'm guessing the new Masterverse, he'd be short to it because we know they're taller than Classics. And, you know, I have He-Man over here. He-Man. Urgh. Wow, he fits in pretty close. You know what? It could be kind of cool to find just a He-Man buck and swap out some parts and make them silver. There is an Origins figure. So you can see the height difference. All right. You know what? I'm going to pull another Marvel figure out. Oh, I knocked his hands over, his spare hands. Crystar. And he is taller than Crystar. So there we go. Now you guys have your heights all down. You can kind of figure out where this figure would fit into your line if you decide to get him. Let me check out the final comments before I go. And let me put a new light on here. So that light was ready to die. Let me plug this one in, because if I don't plug it in right away, I will forget. And then tomorrow I will not have a light, and then I will not be happy. Where? There it is. Okay. Plug it in, plug it in. All right, it's charging. Now, where was I at? All right. I don't remember where I was going with this, but there we go. There is Crystar next to Rom. So you can see how he could fit into different lines. So he's supposed to be a taller character, it looks like, which works great for throwing him into Classics or Masterverse. So that could be cool to have an alien. Actually, wasn't there like a Mazo or something? This could be your Mazo stand-in. I know he's not gold in color, but being he's the same thing from space, you can just use him for the same storyline as your Mazo. I think that was the guy's name. Oh, your comments. That's right. I want to look at everyone's comments. Let's check out the comments. Let's see. Height, yeah. But the arms don't have the bulk to fit with Classics. No, it does not. So I'd have to find some other figure to fit. May the 4th is coming. Love the chrome. All right, cool. Excellent. All right, well, until next time, good journey, you guys, and I'll see you next video. Bye now.